Good morning. It is Wednesday morning, and it is March 27th, 2024. Here we are. It's amazing to be here this morning. Hello, Stacy. How are you feeling today? I know you've been under the weather. Hope you're feeling better today. Good morning. Good morning, Lisa. How are you guys feeling this morning? It is Wednesday. And of course, we know it is the 27th of March. March is going. And it's taking off at 90 miles a minute. So there you go. And hi, Gavi. How are you this morning? How are you feeling today? So, yeah, it's raining a little bit. It's raining a little lot. It's just raining, doing anything. Thank you, Stace, to hear that. So, guess what? Don't forget, the 5 Pillars of Prosperity is coming out. This is the cover. It has some work to do, prototype. So there's a little bit of work to do to it. But these are the colors. These are staying. And good morning, Lynn. And I'm just showing you guys what it will be like. And it's the 5 Pillars of Prosperity. Don't you like the colors? I do. And thank you so much. I'll be doing it again. Yesterday I didn't show it up and somebody said to me, oh, you should have a story about it. Anyway, so as you know, I'm not into that so much. Somebody has to do it, or I have to ask someone to do whatever to make it work so it's face up and all of that. Good morning, Loretta. How are you guys feeling this morning? Thank you, Gavi. Stacey told me she liked it too. So yeah, yesterday when I sent it to her. I'm so excited about it because it was Cyrus Webb that bugged me. Just a Drew and I. He said, you know, I have never met Cyrus in person. I've just spoken a lot with him on social media. And he said to me, do the ebook. This is so important. So I did the book, and it will be an ebook. It will be a book and paperback. And somebody said, audio, not me. I have to get somebody else to do that. Maybe Jilly, but she, you know, Jilly's saving the world. She has very little bit of time to do anything but save the world. That's my daughter. Gavi and her are firm buddies. And that's Gavi's my nephew. So let's get the show on the road. Good morning, wonderful people. Welcome back to the cold zone, Loretta. Loretta is back from her winter in the Caribbean. 2 months, eh? Well, next year you can have your usual 3 months. Anyway, the morning blessings, manifesting with wisdom. So let me tell you guys about this title. You will never believe what happened to me. So, as you know, I do not go looking for a title. I just don't. Even the name of the book, I don't look for anything. I wait because I really have faith and believe that it's guided actions that take you to where you desire to be. If you listen, and maybe the road is longer than you thought it would be, and maybe it has more challenges than you, but these are just lessons, and we have teachers, and these lessons are our teachers. So that is how I have been doing it. And then something said you should write them down in a way, right, so that you get accustomed if somebody were to ask you about that. So I did. I'm doing. I follow guidance. I go blindly because I believe I'm always guided by God, the universe, whatever you do. Once you practice guidance, you need to continue. Good morning, Yuko. You need to continue. How are you feeling this morning? Continue to practice the guidance. So hi, Nancy. How are you feeling? So this morning, when, as you know, I wake up at 4:15, and by the time I do everything, it's usually like 10 to 7. And that's when I'm marching into the shower. I turn on to see what if the world is still standing. And then in the shower. But this morning, I agonized, which is unusual. It wasn't doubt, but I'm saying wisdom. Is that what you want me to talk about? Wisdom? And so when you feel that way, remember, we all feel that way. But this is unusual for me. I have never felt weak when I have an inspiration. I just go for it head first. I jump in, the net will appear. I'm jumping, somebody will save me. And with my inspirations. So when I got wisdom, I said, oh God, I look up, I said, you know what, let me look at the meaning of this word in the dictionary. I go, oh. And when I saw it, when I felt wisdom is when I was just writing and it just came. So I didn't know what to do with it. I sat there and I thought, and then it said manifesting with wisdom. It became clear. The moment I picked up the pen and I started to write, it became clearer. First, what is wisdom? What is manifesting with wisdom? I asked that question because I didn't know what that meant. I had no idea at the time. How do you manifest with wisdom? And for somebody else, any one of you might say, well, Tessa-Marie, yeah. But wisdom is a big thing, right? It's huge. It's not a small. Good morning, Jean. How are you feeling this morning? Wisdom is not tangible. You can't see it. You cannot feel it. It's just there. And it's huge. There's so much talk about wisdom in scriptures. All of the holy books talk about wisdom, the power of wisdom. Yet wisdom doesn't get propelled. Wisdom is not a mechanical. It doesn't need gasoline. Or maybe it does. What type does it need? Anyway, manifesting with wisdom is what we're talking about this morning. What is manifesting with wisdom? My question to myself, to my God. First, what is wisdom? Wisdom is making wise, better sounding choices in our everyday life. That was what I got. Wisdom is making wise, better sounding choices in our everyday life. And that was really good morning. That's lovely to hear you're feeling fantastic and alive. I love that. So then I'm going how to apply wisdom to manifesting. Applying wisdom to manifesting is challenging. It is challenging. We know we should dream big, audacious, and do exactly what we desire. We know that. We are also told to aim for the stars, to aim higher, so that you can achieve those big dreams. Now, wisdom needs to drop by at this time. And I'm writing like crazy. Wisdom is you knowing that the secret of life is applying wisdom to every day. Okay, so that's when clarity set in. When I realized that. So, wisdom, of course, is huge, scary. For me, it was. And I'm thinking, wisdom, and then I get, it is applying wisdom to that wisdom is you knowing, like you see, acknowledging, knowing. That wisdom is applying the secret of, wisdom is that. The secret of life is applying wisdom, knowing that you can do that to every day, to everything. But do we do that consciously? Or do we just let wisdom go? I'm always intrigued, and I shouldn't have been scared because I always used to look at people as they age. And when I see them flying off the handle for just no and not stopping, and words are spilling out of their mouths that they cannot hook back. There's no hook to pull it back. It's gone too far. It's down the canyon. It's taken off in the raging waters. It's on its way to the ocean, huge, big ocean. I would cringe. I remember listening to an argument between two people, and I was actually just listening, and I was cringing, and I'm thinking, which wisdom? The older one was maybe older by 14 years old or 12 years older than the other one. And it was going down the drain. And I'm thinking, when are they going to stop to pull this back? And what I said, looking at the eldest of the two, is, when is she going to get wisdom? And then I realized that she flew off the handle so many times for no reason at all. And that is what I thought wisdom was. And then when I got this challenge this morning to use wisdom in the morning blessing through manifesting, I was scared. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know exactly what would I do with that. But then it became clear. Wisdom is that time that we pause. Wisdom is that time that we make a decision after we have thought it through, knowing that the decision and the choices we have made are sound. And that we have a hard time to do and challenging because we are in a world that moves at lightning speed. It does not allow us to pause. Gone were the days when people would sit together in the town square, in the village square, or just visit a neighbor because you want to sit and have a chat. You cannot do that. So we lost pausing. We need to phone and make an appointment to show up. And that is because everybody is so busy doing their own thing that we do not remember to come together. And that is where wisdom meets us, is in the togetherness of conversation, to the togetherness of silence. Have you ever seen older women, and they sit together, and they might be chatting or knitting or doing something or even cooking. But there is always a lull of silence. And I like that, because that is when their mind drops into the gap. And it's in the gap we pick up wisdom. It's when we let it go and we just drop in that gap of nothingness. Not thinking, not planning, not conniving, not hating, not looking for revenge, that we pick up wisdom. And although I had an inclination, but when I was challenged with it, because as you know, the word is huge. We're still wondering. And even at it, the thing is, I'm going to do this, and I will not understand. I will not know whether you guys got it or whether I made a complete mess of it. That's how it frightened me. So wisdom needs to be dropped by at this time. Wisdom is you knowing that the secret of life is applying wisdom to every day. So we are told to aim high, to dream big. You might hit the sun. You're heading for the stars. Your sun, you might hit the stars or something. Wisdom opens the mind and clears the path to be aware of really what we are manifesting. Because we all know we manifest all the time. We manifest every day. We manifest in every moment of the day. Our thoughts begins our manifestation of disaster, of success, of joy, of passion, of tears, of hate. We manifest. You do not like a color. There is no reason for us to add hate to it. We put that emphasis and then we wonder why things just seem to crumble. Because although we are manifesting for something good, we are not taking wisdom along with us on the ride. Because if we take wisdom with us, we will realize when our thoughts are not heading towards what it is we really, really want or we truly desire. And if all the time we're thinking of revenge, of anger, of sorrow, of pain, and most of that is not in the moment. Most of that comes from the life we lived before. Most of that came for 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 80 years ago, 60 years ago, 70 years ago. And we are still clinging to it while we are making an effort. And we're taking action to manifest something different this time around. A decade ago, it was like this. But for some reason, we have decided the best thing to do is to drag the past 10 years into the moment of now. And wisdom is not telling us, and we are not pulling on wisdom enough. Should I think about that? When we ask that question, you realize your mind goes in the gap. You drop. And when Amma was upset yesterday when I said through pain, you can still find joy. But then we spoke, she called me, spoke, and she realized, yes, she didn't see it that way, but she figured it out. So wisdom opens the minds and clears the path to be aware of really what we are manifesting. Wisdom will say, wait a minute, when the thought that should be coming through is not the desired one. So the thought that is coming is not the desired thought. And that's where wisdom will say, damn it, man, get away. What are you thinking? And that is the power of wisdom. But we need to realize that wisdom is in pausing. Wisdom is not into gallivanting. That is why when you retire from work or from whatever it is you retire from the end of your day, because we retire from the end of today, and they said we have to tell the old man goodbye, the old man of us, our prior limited thinking. I love that. Thanks for sharing that, Jean. Because when we get to that point, when we realize that thought is coming through, we have to be good. Wait a minute. And that is, you think I picked that up. I made those 3 words, put them together like this. I was doing laundry and Kylie came down and I started using those little pads for the laundry. Less work, less heavy things to move. I'm lazy. So she loves coming in to put the beads in the machine and to put the little pads in there. So I gave her one from the box and she said, wait a minute. And when there were two of them, she said, I thought there were two of them. And she hires him, good morning, so we put one back. But that is she, in the moment, she realized in those tiny little fingers that that sheet I gave her was thicker than what she normally puts in the laundry. And I learned that from Kylie, those words, wait a minute. And that is what wisdom says to us. Wait a minute. Think of what you're going to say. Think of how damaging it could be. Are you prepared to stand by I love you and I love you forever? Or do you want to just say it in the moment without wisdom playing a part of it? Are you going to take the responsibility of that person completely believing that you do love them when you really don't? So that is where wisdom would say, shut up, wait a minute, and check out what you're going to say. Wisdom is the thought that says to you, is that what you really desire? Wisdom will say, no, not that. Wisdom will say, not that. Good morning, Kathleen. How are you feeling this morning? Wisdom will tell you, you should hold back. Wisdom is in the song The Gambler by Kenny Rogers. Wisdom is telling you, should you show all your cards now? Should you hold back? Can you hold it to your chest for a minute? That is wisdom. Is it wise to let everybody know how much money you won? That's exactly what the gambler says. No, because the minute they know all of that, they become angry and they think you are better, you have more. So wisdom is not always flaunting all your feathers. So wisdom too is not saying that you are poor and you're defeated and you were abused when you weren't, because you want to get followers and people to sympathize with you. Somebody told me when I started the journey, how can you help people when you had never have to, and they used the word struggle. That's what they said. How can you help others when you never had to struggle? And struggle is not a choice. Struggle is already defeating. A challenge is a choice. You have an opportunity to win, to succeed, to get behind it, to see the tiny door and the tiny key to open to get to where you desire to be. That is a challenge. So I had to say, I know what it is to continue to do your best. You started as a tree and you could stop and sit on the laurels of where you are right now. Instead, I can decide to make my tree bigger, to put more into it. So I can teach you that. I can teach you how to not let go. I can teach you how to face an adversity you never faced before and stare it in the face and say, I'm going to get through this. And that is what wisdom does. Wisdom is the thought that says to you, is that what you really desire? Wisdom will say, no, that's not it. Change course. Course correct. Apparently, when the spaceship goes to wherever it goes, constantly, seconds and seconds, is course correct, course correct, course correct. You don't see that when you're looking at it flying through, but apparently they're constantly putting it back on course. So that is what wisdom let us do. Wisdom says, hey, that's not what you're looking for. Course correct, fix it, get back online. And that is how you manifest with wisdom. Manifesting is done all through the day. We know that. We talk. The thing is to know that wisdom will ask, are you satisfied with the result? And we can do that at night. You know, we can stay at night and we can decide, what type of day did we have today? Was it that day where we course corrected to where we are? Each time we say no to that thought is wisdom telling us, wait a minute, is that where you want to go? That is what wisdom is saying. Are you sure that's the lane you want to drive on? Is that the road you want to travel, or do you want to go and blaze your own trail? So course correct is an everyday action, and wisdom allows us to do that. Because if we do not challenge and pull and take wisdom with us, we're not going to get course corrected. We will fall more often than is necessary. So without wisdom, we can fall more often. And then we will wonder, why are we so bruised and battered? And the finish line is still ahead. That is because with manifesting, we chose and we couldn't take wisdom with us. We stopped there and we thought wisdom is only for Solomon. But in the grand scheme of things, Solomon decided, I could cut the baby in half. Good morning, Arita. Oh, I can give the baby to the one that wants to give it away. So do we learn from that? Are we always holding what we have and refusing to give some of it away because we want to keep it, even if it's going to destroy us, or we will destroy it? You see, so wisdom is not only Solomon knowing which mother to give it to. It was Solomon listening, observing, and the thoughts came to him. One wants to say, kill the baby, and the other wants to say, give it to her. Do not kill it. Let her have it. And he made a choice. And manifesting is similar. When the thought comes to destroy someone because of your anger or their anger towards you, and to repay in the same coins you were paid with, it doesn't even happen in real life. When you pay for something and you're supposed to get something back, it's not the same, is it? You pay with money and you get an article. You give money, you get change. And the change is never the same as you gave. So this is why you have to understand manifesting is done all through the day. The thing is to know that wisdom will ask, are you satisfied? Wisdom will ask, are you prepared for the outcome? But do we pay attention to wisdom when it is telling us, are you sure? Are you prepared? Is that what you really, really want? But we're so busy being and doing and rushing and controlling and fighting for more, for better, for bigger. I'm going to be the best. That we do not hear when wisdom says, enough is enough. Shut up and sit down. I want to talk to you. 5 minutes of silence will help you to find wisdom that you can manifest with it. Wisdom will say, stop. Let it go. Wisdom will say, acknowledge that it is as your thoughts. Do not blame somebody because you manifested something you did not desire. But that was all you were thinking about. Remember? That was all you cared about. All through the manifestation, your most important thoughts was getting even with somebody, spewing anger. And you wonder why wisdom is telling you, stop it, let it go. Wisdom will say, acknowledge that it is as your thought is. It is now your reality. Acknowledge that what you have now is your thoughts that brought you there. Wisdom will say, and know it is your reality. That's what wisdom tells you. Can wisdom help with manifesting? Yes. If you think and pause in moments, if you just think and pause in your daily actions, just think and pause. It is silly though that the tiny things that we can pause in, when you think of it, is it to my advantage to go for a walk, a 15-minute walk, 15 minutes around the block and 15 minutes back home? That equals 30 minutes. And you can ask yourself, will I benefit from that? Of course you will. You might not see it because wisdom is tiny actions taken purposely towards an achieved goal, waiting to achieve a goal, waiting to achieve, or towards a desired goal. Wrong word, Tessa-Marie. Wisdom is always within us, waiting for us to drop by. Wisdom says, celebrate the small results. Wisdom says, the cup is half full. Wisdom says, half a loaf is better than no bread. Wisdom says, you have lost 3 pounds. Wisdom says, you have paid off 1 credit card. Wisdom says that you're feeling lighter today. Wisdom says 1 limb is working better than the other today. Wisdom is to celebrate the small things that happen. We lack wisdom when we wait for the big, audacious goal. to show up. But it's one brick laid to the ground that builds the wall. We do not start at the top. We start at the bottom and work our way up towards that wall. Wisdom teaches you to go slow, to question your step, to question your thoughts. Wait a minute. Wisdom will tell you, hey, are you sure this is where you want to go? In the heat of an argument where you're using words and you're trying to outbid the other one coming at you with those same harsh words, is there a moment, a flick in a tiny, tiny spot? Stop this. That's wisdom. But you see, in the crazy world in which we live, wisdom has no place. Because we are taking off and we are letting the energies that are around us control us. And I've always asked, is it happening in me or is it happening outside of me and I'm letting it take me where it desires to go? What is it? And if we can pause, even in the face of disaster, and realize, hey, what is happening here? Am I falling for this? The time to do that is good. If you cannot do it at each moment as it shows up, make a 5-minute time before you go to sleep and channel wisdom. How did I do today? Grade yourself through wisdom. You know what wisdom is going to tell you. We all know what wisdom is. Wisdom is the one that will say, wait a minute. Wisdom will say, you really love this person? Or you just want to abuse them right now by saying you love them and in a month you will stop loving them? Wisdom, how is that working for you? Wisdom will ask you that question when all of a sudden no one cares about you. Wisdom will say, well, you remember? And that is where wisdom comes in. So before we come to that part, we need to take some time at night and manifest wisdom by saying, hey, how did I do today? Grade yourself. You haven't got to ask your friends to grade you because you might not want the answer. You might not like the answer. So it's best to face yourself, stand in the mirror and say, you know what? Did I handle that conversation with so-and-so properly today? Did I allow them to share? Or did I just download on them? We need to know when we have a block, and no matter how difficult it is, and no matter how big the block is, you notice you're shifting it. You found a tiny door. You found that tiny key that you could hardly hold between your thumb and your index finger. But somehow you pushed it in that tiny lock and you opened that tiny door. And lo and behold, when you step on the threshold, a brand new world stood before you. Is that because you listen and you share, or is it because you just came to share? It's because you did both. You also have to check in and say, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Wisdom makes you go back and look at the day behind you and say, you know what? I'm going to get up tomorrow morning, fired up and ready to do better than I did yesterday. And that is when wisdom kicks in. You can change it. And you can change it to a point. But you had a plan. And because the world spins on its own axle, that plan can get derailed. And when it gets derailed, what is left is pickings, tiny little pieces. Because things crash. What is left? And it's horrible, but you always remember it could be worse. So find the tiny pickings that wisdom allows you to see and celebrate them. I celebrate the joy of realizing, wow, this just came to me. A tiny piece, a little piece, but it was big enough to allow me to celebrate it. Yes, my credit card bill is lower than it was in January. I plan to lose 50 pounds by the December 2024. I've lost 3. I desire to have better health. I feel better today. Half full, half a loaf. Because we forget that we celebrate losing 3 pounds. Makes you feel better. When you feel better, you do better. I desire to walk, but my knees, my leg, my buttocks, my waist, everything is hurting. I can only walk for 10 minutes today. But Yuko said, after Christmas, it's a 10-minute walk that breaks it up. I go 15 minutes in one way and back twice a day. When the weather gets better, I will go down the hill, the Truckers Hill by my house, once a day. Every day. So it takes 15 minutes there, 10 minutes to walk up and down the hill, and then back home. So it's celebrate that, the small successes, because that is what wisdom is telling you. If you do not have to have the big thing to win, to have success at your door. Celebrate those little things that are coming. As you know, when I started, here's the book cover. I'm holding it upside down. The 5 Pillars of Prosperity is on its way. We are going to make some changes. We will highlight the pillars a little bit. They're there, but they're not seen. And since they should be a little bit, finances here, prosperity, so they're all over. So this is the book, a cover, but that's not what we're talking about, is it? We're talking about wisdom. Yeah. So this message is powerful and eye-opening. Thanks, Jean. Thank you, Tessa, for always sharing your knowledge. Yeah, I love that. Thanks, Yuko. This is a good morning, everybody. Yeah, Kathleen was here. I listening to a message 30 minutes ago that was similar, and they said we have to tell the old man goodbye. The old man of us, our prior limited thinking. Yeah, it is. It's like saying, go away. And wisdom. So, as you know, I was scared of that topic. So, I know Jean liked it and Stacy liked it. If any of you enjoyed it, let me know. And stay tuned. I have to get Yuko to do something to Discover so I can promote the book a little bit more. Cyrus gave me a lot of flack about that. He says, you are not doing it. You're not promoting it enough. He said, it doesn't matter if people think all you want to do is sell it. He said, if they buy it, they have the knowledge that you're sharing about the 5 pillars. Because without those 5 pillars, he said, really, I thought about it a lot. You cannot live your life successfully. You have to have a balance within 5 things. And that's what the 5 pillars are about. So have a wonderful day, and let me see who are here. Oh, hi, Lynn, Nancy, Stacy, Rita, Jean, Yuko, Melissa, Kathleen, Gavi, and Loretta. Thank you, wonderful, amazing human beings. You know, I have a team. I call you guys a team. And in the morning, do you ever say you're happy and grateful for the person that does some work for you? Like your cleaning lady. She's coming here today. Like the lady who helps in the garden. I know we pay them. That's why I got mad at one of my cousins. I just not get mad. I kind of just cut the cord. I told her she should be grateful that the accountant I sent her showed up in the snowstorm twice. Had to park a mile away and walk to her house. And because she didn't like something he told her that she had to do, she was angry. And she called me to tell me how angry she was. And I said, listen to me. There are people who have money and cannot get somebody to do what this person does for you. You have to get in their car and drive to the offices and sit there and wait. This one comes to you. You should be grateful for that. Why should I be? I pay him. And that's what she said to me. And I thought, oh, well, what can I say? So that was wisdom. I didn't go any further. I spoke my truth, though. I told her, hey, you should be grateful that this person is coming to your home to do this for you. You're sitting in the comfort of your home. And she said, why should she? She didn't believe because she paid that he had to do what I have to do. But that's not how it is it? And we have to be grateful for the people that makes our life, do things that makes our life easier. Do things that makes our life bearable to ourselves. The hairdresser, you paid and got a cut, thank you. That's all you have to say. I really appreciate you taking the time to cut my hair. I know you paid, but you can have the money and find no one. or you might not have the money, and you have to maybe bless that money you just gave to that person. We all have heard that when you pay for something, you bless the money and you say, I am grateful I have the money. Thank you, money, for allowing me to use you to pay for that service. I am so grateful that I do not have to get up and look at the snow there. Somebody came at 4:15 last Friday and in the morning a.m. and was doing the snow. Would I like to do that at that time? No. So therefore I have to be grateful for that. So when you're doing your gratitude, it does not have to be the big audacious things that you should use your gratitude on. It's the small accomplishments or the small things that happen in your life effortlessly, like being able to see without really squinting, or that breath, that magnificent breath that keeps us alive. So today, no matter what you do, find something to be grateful for. That pair of shoes, that when you put it on, it's comfortable and you can walk. That job that is stressful and challenging, but you got a paycheck. And it might not be enough, and you would definitely, most certainly want more. But right now, this is what you have. So you are grateful for this. Have a great day. You know me, I could never stop talking. Don't tell that to my son, because he said, my mother can talk for hours all about herself. And that's not true, is it? Have a wonderful and amazing day. Love you, and I appreciate you. I'm happy and grateful you chose to press that button today to let me know how you feel. You have bars of wisdom. Oh, hi, Amma. How are you this morning? So have a great day. And don't forget to look for the book. And I will have to when will I learn to hold it upright? Cyrus said, promote it until you cannot promote it no more. Hi, Julia. It's so grateful for you. Thank you, Nancy. I am grateful for all of you that comes dropping in to listen to my Bible. Love you. Bye.